A bedroom should always be a peaceful sanctuary after a hard day's work, but with clutter laying around, it seldom stays that way. Today's DIY storage trunk will help you get back to your pièce de résistance. What you'll need for the project is wooden planks, brackets, a lockable latch, as well as a magnetic latch, handles, wood glue and wood screws, a corner jig, steel wool, stain, water-based paint, a cordless drill, sander, a paintbrush and roller set, and a router. For the first step of our storage trunk, we're going to be creating the framework. Now what we're going to do is create a rectangular framework of a few layers. And how we're going to do that is by placing the planks together like this. So I'm just going to take a similar plank just to mark off the width where I need to drill my pilot holes. And then I'm just going to mark off 2 pilot holes. And now we can drill our pilot holes. Okay, so we'll apply some glue to secure it. And now I'm going to be using this corner jig, which is quite nifty as a second pair of hands. So I'm going to place my wood piece over here and then simply tighten it up so you can keep it in place, and then I can secure with 2 screws. Right, so now that our first layer of our rectangular framework is done, we're going to repeat the same depending on the height for your application for your storage trunk. And then we're going to move on to the corner braces, which are going to hold our whole storage trunk together. So with all 4 pieces of our framework now complete, we're going to move on to those corner pieces. We're going to place 2 pieces in an L shape, almost to cup or brace the corners here. And as you can see, this is much taller than our trunk. So we're just going to measure up in terms of the height of our trunk, cut off the pieces here, join them together and secure them from the inside to hide your screws. Now with all our cuts for our corner braces, we can start assembling them together. Mark off a safety guideline and then simply drill and screw about 3 pilot holes just to secure it in place. And again, we're going to repeat with some glue and some screws. And once again, I'm using my corner jig just to ensure that I have a good secure placement before I screw it together. So now that you've secured your brace, remember these holes will be visible. So you want to fill them with some wood filler that matches the wood grain, and then you can actually stain them to the color of your choice. While the wood filler is drying on our corner braces, I'm going to start with the base of our storage trunk. I'm going to be using these slats over here in each of the corners, and then I'm going to be using a center brace, which I'll place in the center over here. And then I'm just going to drill some pilot holes and secure it in the sides, and then place our lateral pieces for our base down like that. So those are the 2 side braces, and we're just going to glue and screw them to the sides. For the center piece that I've placed here in the middle, I'm going to mark out the center, which is 51.2 centimeters. So just mark that out. And then I'm going to transpose that line across. Now that I've got our top line, I'm going to transpose that onto the back where I'll drill my pilot hole.
Use a clamp where you need a second pair of hands to secure different pieces together.
Cool, so now we can put our base planks into place, and I'm just going to dry fit them. A good tip here is to mark out your planks just so you know which order they go in and where your pilot holes have been made. I'm using a similar thickness wood just to mark out where our safety line will be so that we can ensure our pilot holes go into the wood below. To create our lid, I'm going to place each of our strips of wood like this. Now I'm just using one of our frameworks underneath to give us a guide of where to actually place it. And then I'm going to be using slats like these to place on the inside. This will effectively be the bottom of our lid, but we're going to mark out where we're going to drill our pilot holes and secure it together after that. Remember to place it just inside of the edge of your frame so that you don't have any issues when you're closing it. With our lid now ready, we can move on to sanding before we stain and then paint.
A water-based stain gives a rich wooden color to the project. 2 coats of stain applied with a sponge roller gives proper coverage.
With our stain now dry, I've loosely fitted all of our pieces. I've left the corner pieces off for now because we're going to assemble those later on. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to take a dry brush, and I've got some white PVA paint as you can see here, and I'm going to dip them lightly in, as you can see, just the tip, to apply an aging technique like this. So I'm going to brush it in long brush strokes just so that it lightly covers and almost whitewashes the paint, but allows the dark color from behind to come through. Having applied the white paint, while it's now dry, use some steel wool as sandpaper to add an even more dramatic aged effect. With our paint now dry, I'm going to secure our supports here. So I'm going to drill pilot holes, glue and screw it together. Now that we've secured all 4 corners of our braces, it's time to attach our hinges. And you can place them approximately in the center from your corner brace to the middle of your trunk. Excellent. Now the only thing left to do is add our lock and our handles, and we're done. And there you have it. Our storage trunk is complete and your pièce de résistance is on its way. So go out and have as much fun as I did today with different paint colors, different paint techniques, and different fixtures and fittings. Enjoy.